Hey there, y'all. What's up, family and friends? This your boy John L. Excuse me, cut that B word out, that boy word. This is your guy, John L. And I'm back at you, live and direct, with another one. Today, I probably want to cover the topic and the subject just from a narrow point of view. We ain't even going to make this like a broad point of view because I want to have a couple of more opinions in the room with me or in the presence with me, when I do cover something so broadly. But today I definitely want to talk about keeping it real. I want to talk about not just keeping it real, but I want to define like what is real. Like you know what I'm saying? And I want y'all to if y'all will, I want y'all to drop some comments and stuff like that also. You know what I'm saying? Don't be afraid, man, to unify our minds and our brains, man, and come together as a collective. Anything that I'm telling you, anything that I'm explaining to you, I'm just giving it to you raw, uncut, and honest and all of that, but from my own perspective. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's just because I said it or just because I say it, it's an automatic fact. You know what I'm saying? And then another thing, just to bring it back on an individual basis, another thing, when we covering a big topic and a big subject such as keeping it real, you know what I'm saying? It's definitely something that's very opinionated. You know, you go around and you ask everybody what their definition of keeping it real is, they all gonna have a different perspective for the most part. So with me, I'm just keeping it on the eye and my perspective of keeping it real. You know what I'm saying? So we just gonna attack it from a narrow base and a narrow standpoint and just get a glimpse into it versus me talking with the brothers and with the rest of the fellas and us actually building and having a cipher, on what being real is. So in my own personal opinion, I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it. I'm not really gonna purposely talk so much about what being real is, but I'm gonna talk about what not being real is. And I know that sounds a little difficult right there. You know what I'm saying? But follow me if you will. For instance, from the eye's perspective, it seemed like when it comes to carrying that word real and bringing that word real to life, turning it from a word into action, it feels like there's people out here that's under the influence, or they have the notion or the idea that being real is just saying whatever it is that come to your mind and not being afraid to say it. They under the false impression and they under the notion and idea that being real is just saying whatever it is that comes to your mind and not being afraid to say it. So, with that being said, I wanna go into some of the factors of why that can be harmful. First and foremost, though, I want to acknowledge that it's a beautiful thing to be able to have the courage to say what it is that you feel, and that's and whatever it is that's on your mind, and to have the courage to express that. You know what I'm saying? And not care about the flack or the penalties that you may receive. That is very courageous. But just because something is courageous doesn't mean that it's mindful or that it has anything to do with morality. You know what I'm saying? And morals. You know what I'm saying? You got a saying by you got a saying by the philosopher Marcus Aurelius that said, don't count don't count anything as being beneficial which causes you to break a promise, lose your self-respect, or hurt anyone. With that being said, basically he's talking about morals. You know what I'm saying? So it's important for us to have morals, you know what I'm saying, and to not lose our morality. You know what I'm saying? And then you got another saying that I would like to bring up by the philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle said that, I count him braver who overcomes his victories. Excuse me, I count him braver who overcomes himself and his self-desires than he who overcomes his enemies. For the hardest victory is self. I count him braver who overcomes his self-desires than he who overcomes his enemies. For the hardest victory is over self. So with that being said, it goes back to the brave thing. You can say something and be brave-hearted about it and be courageous and all of that, but it don't mean that you're doing it justly. You know what I'm saying? So having the courage to say things and things like that, and having the emotional capacity to catch what you're saying before it fly out your mouth is a completely different thing, and we got to be aware of that. So with that being said, we got to stop just thinking that everything is real just because we're unafraid to say it, and we don't care who it is that's receiving it. That's not real. One of my favorite lines that I always embrace from the late great Tupac Shakur. One of my favorite lines, man, that the brother recited was when he said, "It takes skills to be real." Now, it took me a real long time to kind of like break that down and decipher that into what he meant by that, and just to get into that a little bit and decipher that and pick that apart just a little bit from my own perspective, of course. It takes skills to be real. I think that's very deep, man. You know why? Because first and foremost, you got to ask yourself, what is a skill? A skill is something that you can constantly gain and develop and work on each and every day. It takes skills. So a skill is something that you can constantly practice and work on each and every day. It takes skills. That means there's levels. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that has a lot to do with our moral values. It has a whole lot to do with our moral values. For instance, there's been many a times, and I love to keep it on the eye. Make sure y'all recording this, or at least in y'all minds and stuff like that, recording this. Yes, I love to keep it on the eye. And I feel like for a long time, and like I said, I've been a victim of this myself. Not a victim, but a suspect of this myself. Well, both, a victim and suspect of this. I've a lot of times, I've said things to people just being real within myself, you know what I'm saying? And feeling like, you know what I'm saying, if I don't say this and if I don't get this off of my chest and if I keep holding it back, then I ain't real. You know what I'm saying? I've said things to people, and follow me, I've said things to people countless times and numerous amounts of times that was real. It was real what I was saying. But how I went about it may have been wrong. And it was wrong, And I know it was wrong because as a result, it hurt somebody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? And as we all know, the truth hurts. The truth always gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? But just because the truth hurt don't mean that the truth always gotta hurt. It's how you put things into context. You know what I'm saying? And how you say things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, I'm just keeping it on the eye. A lot of times, me inside of my being real, I've said things to people that was hurtful and that was harmful. You know what I'm saying? So it go back to that concept of just because you got the brains and or the courage and the guts to say something, you know what I'm saying, and you don't care about the flack or you don't care about the crucifixion and stuff like that, it don't necessarily mean or make what you saying real. It don't. You know what I'm saying? Because if what you saying, because at the end of the day, if you were so real, then what you were saying wouldn't have to hurt somebody. You know what I'm saying? You would be able to either articulate it, you know what I'm saying? And if you wasn't able to articulate it, you know what I'm saying, you would be able to put it into a way to where, you know what I'm saying, it's not taken offensive like that, to a point of hurting somebody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we got to be more conscious and aware of how we carry that word real and how we think about realness. We need to like I said, the greatest practice for me, honestly, is when Pac said, it takes skills to be real. It takes skills to be real. His exact words was, it takes skills to be real. It's time to heal each other. And it's funny that line go with the rest of that. You know what I'm saying? But, we need to be more mindful and cautious of the things that we say and stop necessarily thinking that just because it's on our mind and just because it's on the tip of our tongue and it's something that we feel like we got to get off of our chest, that is real, man. That's not real, man. That's not real. Because those times where I hurt people and, by speaking my truths, and, it's like what they say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You know what I'm saying? So if I was real, I would have, basically what I was really trying to say is, if I was real, I would have knew how to go about it in a different way. Or if you real, you should know how to go about things in a different way to where it won't be taken as downing someone or hurting someone's feelings. Now, we do know that there's a flip side of this to where, it's times where people really do be needing to hear the truth, and the truth hurt. But the truth don't gotta hurt to a point of literally breaking a person down and making a person feel less than themselves. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta get back on track with that. That's just one of the things, that I wanted to raise awareness on and bring to y'all and definitely bring to y'all understanding. That's one of the things that I've been thinking about lately and that has been on my mind. Again, stop thinking that just because you don't mind saying something, and it's almost like similar to like the Kanye West thing to a certain degree, but we ain't gonna get into that, all of that controversial stuff and all of that. We're gonna keep this stuff positive. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what we trying to produce. You know what I'm saying? It's easy to promote controversy and stuff like that. Let's challenge ourselves to do something different. Even though we know positivity don't get much views and stuff like that, and negativities do, let's remain our true selves and stuff like that and continue to be who we are. You know what I'm saying? Because we know that we're doing what we're doing for a good cause and a good reason. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep it like that. So, yeah, once again, I just want y'all to reflect on that in your own time. That's what I'm about doing. I'm about reflection. I'm about reflecting. So whenever you listening to me and stuff like that, I'm always gonna be trying to get you to get to a point to where whenever you get the free time, make sure and even if sometimes you gotta make time to have time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm always gonna try to influence people not to just use their brains, but to take the time to reflect sometimes. That's my biggest thing, man. Take the time to reflect. And with that being said, man, I want y'all to take the time to reflect on some of the things that I just got done from talking through or talking about throughout this video. Yeah, man, just being real. What is being real to you? And is your being real literally hurting somebody? You know what I'm saying? Like beyond the point of what truth can do. Beyond that point, Just some thoughts for the mind. Peace and blessings to y'all family. Thank y'all for watching. I am John Now. We are the content. The content is us. So if you will, let's help to keep the content going, y'all. And please, man, make sure y'all drop a comment or something, man. Share, like, and comment. You know, and I'll catch y'all next time. Again, peace and blessings to y'all. Peace.